I'm going to show you how to create a little setup for you to trace some images that you're going to collect off of the internet. So the first thing you need to do is make your square. So our squares are going to be 10 inches. So go to Illustrator, create new, and you're going to make it, call it Freedom Quilt. Your name, Freedom Quilt. How about that? Or, well, Story Quilt. But that's our topic. So you put your name on there. Story Quilt, make it 10 inches. Make sure that you put the inches on first and then put 10 and 10. And the color mode should be RGB. And the raster effects are 300. That's probably going to default to that. And it should all just look like that. Create. And now I have my square. So move this over a little so we can see the toolbar. Okay, there's my tools. And now I have my layers open so you can see each one. So my quilt square is going to be about, I feel free when I'm taking a break. I'm always really busy. And when I go to the beach, it always feels really good. And whenever I drive over the Bay Bridge going towards the beach, I always feel like I'm really going there. Like I don't really feel like I believe I'm going there until I drive over the Bay Bridge. So I'm going to make a picture with the Bay Bridge. And I'm going to put some seagulls because the sounds of seagulls always make me think of the beach. Like when I go there, you get out and you just hear them. Sometimes I hear them, sometimes they fly around the school actually, and I hear them and I think, oh, wow, it feels like the beach. So I found some pictures on the internet already. So I'm gonna use this picture of the Bay Bridge, and I'm gonna set up a little collage in my Illustrator file that I'll trace from. So I'm just going to pull the images in that I'm going to trace from. So I don't want you to just go find some image because that's just somebody else's artwork. Even this bridge is someone else's artwork because it's a photo. But I'm going to trace part of it, and then I'm going to add my own, some different pictures of seagulls, and then I'm going to color it in a different way, and it'll look very different than what I started out with. So basically what we're doing is we're pulling in resource images. So I have my square ready to go, and I found some images that I wanted. So you just find them, open them in a new tab so you have it as large as it can be. Like if I click on this, this is as big as it's going to get. So I just click and drag that right onto my square from the internet. And now it's pretty big. So I'm going to shrink it down. Now, when you resize images in Illustrator, you do have to hold the shift key to keep them constrained properly. So I'm going to hold the shift key, and I'm just going to shrink it down and move it over, shrink it down, holding the shift key, moving it over. And then I'm going to zoom way down so I can make sure I have the whole picture in there. I don't want the whole bridge. I'm just going to use this part, and I'm going to cut this edge off. So I'm going to bring this up. I'm holding the shift key. And I want just about this. So I'm looking at it. I might even put my hand over top of the edge just to see if I like how that sits in that frame. Now, it doesn't matter that this is hanging down over here. I can move this bridge up or down, however I want. I'm going to move it a little bit up because that rule of thirds thing, if you haven't ever heard of it, it's when you put things in, like if you imagine a third of the paper, instead of it being right in the center, it's more interesting to look at. So I moved this up a little bit. It's not right in the smack dab in the center. Now I'm going to add my seagulls. Oh, wait, no, I have to name it. So I'm going to name this bridge. And I'm going to change the opacity on the photo. And remember, you have to have it selected, the photo, and I'm going to put it to 60%. That way, when I go to trace with my black pen, the black isn't so black. And I'm probably just going to trace a silhouette of the bridge and then the outlines of the trees and the water. So that's ready to go. Make sure that it's embedded. When you drag a picture right from the internet into Illustrator, it usually is embedded. But when it's selected, if you look up here where it says unembed, that means that it is embedded, and that's good. Then the picture will stay with it. But if it's not embedded, if you save this and close it and then you open it again, your pictures might be lost. So make sure that it's embedded. If it says unembed, then it is embedded. Hope that's not too confusing. All right, so I got that, and I'm gonna just lock that layer. I'm gonna make a new layer, and I'm bringing in 3 different pictures of seagulls because I want them flying in different directions. So I'm gonna call this just gull 1, and then I'll do gull 2 and gull 3. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna grab one of the seagulls. So here's one. And I don't need all this stuff around here, but it doesn't matter. Just like this picture is hanging off and it's not in the center, like this isn't gonna matter because I'm just gonna trace this bridge and I'm gonna add water right here. I'll just color all of this blue. So with this bird, I don't care about the sky because I'm only tracing the bird. So I want to put it in a place that looks nice. I'm going to change the opacity and it'll help me to see where I put it also. All right. And now I'm going to decide where I want my bird. So I want it to look like it's kind of flying up close, and I'm going to have it overlapping the bridge some. Maybe like there. And if I don't like where I have it, because I'm putting each object on its own layer, I can move them around really easily. So there's my one gull, and I'm going to lock that for now. And then I'm going to make another layer called gull 2. And I'm going to go get my other seagull, drag that in. So see, it's embedded already. And I'm going to change the opacity to 60. You can change it to more if you need to. It just depends on how light the picture is to begin with. Remember, you hold the shift key when you resize a photo. I'm going to put that up kind of near the top. So I have a seagull up here flying. And then I'm going to have one more. So I've compiled 3 different pictures into my Adobe file. And I am going to shrink that down a little and make sure that it's in my picture. I think I'm going to turn it a little bit. So I'm going to rotate. Put that up there. Right now, if I don't like the size or the location, I can change it after I'm done drawing. Mainly, I just need to get these parts drawn. And then I can rearrange them however I want. Right, I've got them all here, and this is basically going to be my picture. It's going to look much nicer after I trace them. So I locked all my layers. So now I can hide and unhide and just focus on one thing. So I will hide everything except, well, let's make a new layer for each thing. Okay, so this is the layer with the picture. So now I need a layer for each drawing. So I have 4 objects on this page. So for each time I make one, I'm going to click on the bridge and I'm going to make a new layer for that. And I'm going to call it bridge drawing or bridge draw, something so that you know that this is the picture and this is the drawing. And then I'll do that for each layer, right? So I'll do one above the gull 1, gull 1 drawing. okay? And do that for each thing, okay? But I'm not gonna do that in the video for now, because, so I'm gonna hide all my layers that I'm not working on, and everything is locked except for the bridge drawing layer, because that's where I'm gonna draw. And then I just go in and I use my pen tool and I draw my bridge. And when I'm done, then I can hide and unhide the picture and see how it looks as I go, right? So I'll just draw one little part of the bridge. I'm not gonna spend this whole video drawing, but it's very simple. I'm just gonna draw these little, whoops. What do I need to do? I need to make that none, and this, whoops. The fill is none and the line is black. I'm just gonna go across here. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna draw my, and I can fix it right later. Right, and there I'm done. So I can go in and I can adjust it. Right, and I'm gonna draw all of like this part. So for this part, it's just really gonna be, you know, the lines. It's an outline of this and it's a straight line, so it's really simple. And this is really much easier than it looks, because it's really just a bunch of lines. So for the bridge, I'm just going to do it all in black and have it be a silhouette. And then I'm going to draw my trees and I'm going to draw like a line, some lines for the water. And I'll fill that in with blue in Photoshop after I'm done drawing everything. But you can see after you're done, or as you go, you can check and see how you like it, right? You can just hide and unhide things. And then when you're all done, and if you don't need the photos anymore, you can just hide them all or delete them. And then we'll import it into Photoshop and color it. So that's what you need to do. So for this assignment, though, for just this assignment, before you go and draw anything, I want you to show me your setup, okay? So for this assignment, you are going to give me a picture with just all of the photos put in, just like this. So that's what I want to see, right? See, it's got all this blue stuff on there, but I'm just going to draw the bird, and I'm just going to draw the bird, and I'm just going to draw the bird, and I'm going to draw the bridge and the water and the trees, and then all this other extra stuff like the edges of the picture and everything. You're not drawing that, right? But this is what I want to see. I want to see your setup for the things that you're going to draw. So you should have multiple images, at least a couple. Don't just go find one image and try to trace it. So it should be an arrangement that you make.